Public service announcement. Please stand by.
So, as I was saying, I was listening to the Watts case. Speaking of true crime, so I was remembering, and I gotta put my glasses back on for that, so sorry about the glare. So, you guys all know I was an acquaintance of Jodi Arias. I had a friend when I was in high school, well, okay, I grew up with, I have a friend I grew up with, and she was like a sister to me, and she's like a couple years older than me. So when I was in high school, my friend, she would come and pick me up after school sometimes, and one of the places we would go is California Pizza Kitchen, because she had a group, she was a little bit older, so she had a group of friends who were about like in their late teens, early 20s to 30s, right? And they all kind of hang out in the same like social circle down here in the Coachella Valley, especially back in like the early 2000s, 2005, 6, 7. It was kind of small, and like you got into certain friend groups, and those, like, everybody kind of knew of each other. So I kind of got to hear about, you know, the way when my friend would like tote me around and stuff, like, you know, because I was like her kid sister, I kind of got to hear some of the gossip and stories and things from this like friend group, because she would tell me. Well, one of the places she would take me to was California Pizza Kitchen, and one of the reasons why we would go there was because Jodi worked there. And in this friend circle, my friend had a crush on the guy Jodi was dating, and I think she had a fling with him, but he ended up dating Jodi. Lucky him, right? And she dated a lot of guys in this friend group actually, and one of them actually, and I'm going to tell you this, so one of them, so my friend, you know, would take me, and I'd tell her, you know, Jodi's so pretty and stuff, and I knew, and she told me, you know, Jodi's a model, and she'd even shown me Jodi's MySpace. Now, back before she got with Travis, she was with this old man, and if you ever watch the Lifetime movie, they refer to this guy as the geezer. He was also the guy she picked up the gas cans from in Palm Desert on the way to murder Travis. So, so that guy, before she got with that guy, she was in this friend circle, and she was dating a bunch of different dudes, right? Probably trying to go through them and seeing who she could lock down, right? Well, my friend told me, you know, like, oh yeah, she's pretty and all, but she's psycho. She was known as the hot but psycho girl. She was hot but fucking psycho. And I thought these stories were funny. Now, one of the stories, and this is the one I really remember about her, is that Jodi was with a guy who worked at a tattoo shop, and which was funny, the tattoo shop was right across the way from an adult store, and Jodi, my friend told me Jodi would like to go into the adult store because my friend also worked there. Yeah. And so she would go over to the adult store and buy stuff, and then take it over to the tattoo shop and like show it off, like, ooh, look what I bought, aren't I like sexy cool girl? Yeah. So she would take her toys in that she just bought and show them off to the guys, like it was going to, you know, like make them interested or something, or make her seem like she was a wild party girl or something. I don't know. So one of the guys she was with, she freaked out on him. And so my friend told me that what Jodi did was when he was asleep, she vandalized his truck, and I forget what I want to say they said it was saran wrapped, but I do distinctly remember my friend telling me she took one of those adult toys that she bought across the way and glued it, like attempted to, she said it didn't actually stick because it was big and black, if you know what I mean. Which, honestly, I couldn't put it past Jodi to have one of those. So, yeah, it was big and black, and so she attempted to mount it to the front of his truck. And I thought that, of course, I'm like young. I think I was like 16, 17. And so like, I think this shit is so funny. I thought this Jodi story was funny. So Jodi's in this friend circle, right? That my friend's a part of. Well, this friend circle, for some reason, thought it would be a good idea to make a movie about emo kids. You guys remember that? The emo trend? Emo, okay? We all know what that is, okay? You know, it's like gothic, but it's not, right? And anyway, so they were gonna make a movie called How to Be Emo. I'm not kidding, right? And so they were gonna film like a trailer to then take out to Hollywood and shop around. So they filmed this trailer. And Jodi was in it. Now, it revolved around like the main premise of the story was there was this high school football dude who falls in love with an emo girl. And then the football dudes kidnap the emo girl, and the emo kids have to go and fight for her back or some shit like that. I don't know. It's called How to Be Emo, right? And so, before Jodi broke away from the friend group and went to be with the geezer, right? She was gonna be in this movie, and she was in the trailer. She was one of the cheerleaders, and it showed all these different groups of people in the school, kind of like, you know, how Mean Girls does. Well, she was a part of the cheerleading group. Well, as they were making all this and stuff, Jodi decides, I'm better than all you bitches, I'm out. And this was around the time she got with the geezer. So she ended up dating him. And the last I had heard about Jodi, because I was always asking my friend about the Psycho Girl stories, because I thought it was so funny. If anybody from high school, I think I was a senior in high school, yeah. So if anybody watching this from my high school, if you remember me telling you stories about the hot Psycho Girl and the truck and the mounting, that was Jodi Arias. I used to go to school and tell people about, because I thought it was so funny. I thought it was something that you would see in a reality TV show. I thought that was so funny. Turned out she ended up murdering someone and became a famous killer on the internet. So, yeah, Jodi was in this movie. Not this movie, but in the trailer. And then when she decided to skip out of the friends group and stuff, they had to take her out and they had to blur her out. So I have a picture where I have her, and you can tell it's her, but it's far away. You can also tell it's her by where she's sitting in the picture. We all know Jodi Arias, right? So when you see where she's sitting at in this picture, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's totally Jodi. That's totally Jodi. Ready for this? Of course, I blocked out the other people, but that's our girl Jodi on top as a cheerleader. Oops. Sorry, that's my little thing. But yeah, that's Jodi on top, guys. So you guys can say you saw a photo of Jodi Arias that no one has ever seen before. Yeah. That was Jodi back when her blonde hair was crappy too. Yeah, my friend would make fun of it because, you know, she was jealous of Jodi, and my friend was like a hairdresser, so yeah. But yeah. That's Jodi on top. Yeah, I blocked out the other people because, you know, it doesn't matter. We all know who Jodi is and what she looks like. But yeah, that's the unseen picture of Jodi Arias. Y'all can say you've seen an unseen picture of Jodi Arias from a movie trailer she was going to be in called How to Be Emo, which you can still go find that movie trailer up on YouTube. Have fun. Scavenger hunt. Go find Jodi in an obscure movie trailer called How to Be Nemo. It's the part where they go, hi, Billy. That's Jodi. Right there. That's our girl. Yeah, so it's Friday. We're hanging out. I'm getting on top of my pain. Yeah, that's totally me. Name dropping Jodi Arias. I had someone like in the comments of another video go like, you go around name dropping Jodi Arias, and I go, yeah, because I knew her. I was acquaintance of her. It was kind of a part of my life story. And when I figured out that that was her in that trial, I couldn't fucking believe it. That was weird. And it's also weird to look back and there were red flags. And so, like, if I can add anything to, like, the stories that I tell about, like, even though it was just, I was just an acquaintance. I would just see her when she served me pizza at CPK. I still think that that one story is pretty significant, and the relationship patterns, you know, at least my friend witnessed and would describe to me, you know, it's, I know it's third-hand information, but it's still pretty, it's like, yeah, there were red flags. She was always crazy. It was leading up to this. It's sad that, you know, also too, when women commit crimes and do stuff, we all giggle about it like it's funny. You know, I even giggle kind of too, like, oh, look at Jodi on top, right? But it's also not funny because Travis is dead, and honestly, I feel like there were a lot of red flags, but because as a society, we kind of give women a pass when they do crimes. Especially like this. We think it's funny, you know, like, oh, look at this guy. He fucked around and found out. Ooh, he should have put a ring on that or some shit like that, or should have ran for the hills. We laugh and make jokes like that, but I just wish, like, when women committed crimes, that it was taken a little more seriously, you know, and when women did shitty things like stalking behaviors, especially now, where I'm at now in life, after seeing what I have been through, and that's just, that's not a significant part of my life experiences at all. That was just a one-off when I was in high school, you know, and then it's weird to be like, connecting the dots, I actually fucking was an acquaintance of that bitch, but it just, I don't know where I was going with this. It's just a weird world.